Right, guys. So a few days ago, I drove the Fiat Uno, a small light car, and now I've decided to jump into a big heavy truck. We're at the Taruma racetrack in Brazil. Quick 6-lap race. So I'm in the Mercedes, standing start, and yeah, let's go for it. Oh, bad start, bogged down. So, let's see how this one goes. Copa Truck. So, yeah, this will have us all running out for jobs as delivery drivers.
Safety car's coming out, full course yellow.
Well, that was quick.
Stay behind the safety car.
So, what's happened there?
Safety car is out, it's now open.
Alright, so full cross caution at the very start, so that I can only assume there's been a bit of a pile-up into turn 1 maybe, don't know. I can see 3 trucks stopped on track. Just looking at my little, I've got a mini-map overlay, an app called Second Monitor that I'd highly recommend. It works with Automobilista 2, Assetto Corsa Competizione, or Factor 2. Have I tried it with Racestream? I'm not too sure, but Second Monitor is what it's called.
Alright Gary, race will resume at the end of this lap.
It will give like an overview of the track, where everyone is located,
Coming in.
as well as sector times, tyre temperatures, pressures, all of that stuff. So yeah, definitely recommend that. And if you Google it, by the way, I'm sure you'll find it. Second Monitor timing app for sim racing. Give it a look. It's definitely worth a shot. And I use it a lot, to be honest. All right, let's wait for the restart. Get a lap or two and talk about how these trucks actually feel. Got them on the restart, lovely.
Green, 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 let's go.
Right, so how do these feel to drive versus a car? Alright, so you factor in they weigh about 4 or 5 cars, don't they? They're, what, 5,500 kilograms or something like that. And they do feel heavy. I find when you're driving them, you've got to be super patient regarding the grip at the front. If you go in too hot on the front, what you'll find is that the thing just won't grip up again. It takes ages to grip up. See, like this, oh, and then finally it gets it. And bear in mind how slow it's actually going there, right? So once the front grip kind of lets go, it doesn't come back very easily. Now, in terms of turning it, the turn-in is very lazy, as you'd expect, right? So turn in initially, and then as the front grips, and I give it a bit of throttle, the back then can start to come with it. See, the back is starting to come round, but then you have to be careful that you don't let the front grip up too much again. Otherwise it'll just be a nightmare. There's a couple of trucks smoking away in the pits. Went in very deep here, but got away with it. Given the amount of torque in these as well, like fourth gear, even out some corners is is plenty, you know. That's another thing you have to kind of get your head around as well. It's not like driving a race car where high RPMs is the order of the day. Like in these things, it's so much torque. What I would also suggest when driving these is maybe lower your force feedback a little bit, because sometimes when the wheel snaps back centre, even after an understeer moment, or maybe even a bit of correction. There has been occasions where, like, you know, a few weeks ago when I was driving these, that the steering wheel would violently kind of rock back and forward and stuff like that, to the point where I've had to hit the emergency stop on my DD2. But what you'll find as well is that on some of these tracks, the steering rack on a truck like is probably around 30 degrees. So a couple of degrees more than a race car. and then a light steering wheel is needed because you might have to rotate it like more than 360 for some corners. And I had a terrible exit there, so... Oh shit. Got a bit bumpy on the curbs there with braking as well. One other thing I like about this as well is the other little effects that Reset put into this. I mean, if you look out the back, you'll see the diesel fumes, the diesel exhaust, the black smoke. Nice little touch. And in very deep, and you can see how slow I have to go to wait for the truck just to grip up, and that's completely screwed that corner. Now we have a battle.
On your left, clear left.
I could even short shift as well, just to help getting the power down out of that, not even the corner, out of that sector. Like I say, there's so much torque that like short shifting can actually be advantageous to these, I find. As I push again, too wide. Onto the rumbles on the outside, the little marbles, I could feel that, and that's not help things.
Come on, Gary, 2 laps left. You're P1.
Alright. 2 laps to go. You know, it's actually quite fun. I mean, it's a different and it's a slower driving style, but it's one that requires a lot of discipline, I have to say. It's a lesson in being patient. And right there, it's drifting wide again on the exit, so that's going to cost a bit of time. Sure enough, it's let them close up a tiny bit more. Just look at the front right tyre as well, like absolutely torched from the first sector, really. I don't know how long these tyres last over, like, you know, 10 or 15 laps or something. But that's one thing I have to be aware of now, is there's not much grip on that front right. Going into this corner, I can definitely feel it. Try and turn with the throttle a little bit. You can see the smoke coming out of the truck.
1 more lap to go.
Just the diesel fumes, the exhaust. So last lap. Yeah, you can definitely notice the weight shift on this as well. Like it's quite severe, as you'd expect. Particularly under brakes. I mean, you can visually see the cockpit of the truck, if you like, kind of pitching down the cabin of the truck. And the roll centre of these obviously is quite high as well. I can see how much lean is on them, even from inside the cabin here. As we go through some of the corners, like you can feel and see the thing kind of leaned over a little bit to one side. Oh, gone wide. Stay off the grass, stay off the grass. On the rumbles, I can feel that shit on the outside of the track there. Those marbles. Not just there to look pretty, I think Breeze do a great job with simulating that stuff. Like they have that... They have those physics as well, where if you run off track and you come back onto the track, that bit of dust you kick up actually remains on the track as well. So there's a lot of, let's say, track environmental stuff going on.
Well done, Gary. Great win. You deserved that today.
That was good fun. So let's have a look at the L replay. Now let's skip the cool down lap. And let's have a look at this. Look at the diesel, wow. Greta would not be happy with this. just want to see actually what happened in the middle, because I know there was a lot of I know there was a bit of a few retirements. Let me just go back. There's a few retirements in the middle in the middle of the pack, so I just want to see kind of exactly what happened. Oh, so we did an engine failure. Looks to be an engine failure. Couple of engine failures at the start, I think. Yeah, alright. So at least you know what happened, so a few engines went pop. So, Copa Truck, what do we think? I mean, that's really cool. I love the detail they've gone into, like with the diesel exhaust gas, the fumes, the black fumes coming out. And actually, this was the full course yellow, and even look behind the AI, weaving from side to side as well to keep the tires warm. I mean, look at that, really cool. Let us skip forward actually to the restart, which I think was here. Yeah, so you can see this is where the restart happened, I think. Yeah, there's the smoke. Oh, it's cool, isn't it? Look at that as well. As the trucks pitch into the corner, you can see the actual the chassis, the rear tires look pitching over with the truck as well. It's like that's really impressive visually. Like that's really, yeah. Look at the rear tires. The rear tires sort of grab. Look, right there. It's like the back of the truck with the anti-roll or whatever kind of anti-roll these things might have. Awesome, absolutely awesome. My lad, look at this. I mean, really, really good. Whether you like truck racing or not, I just parked that idea for a minute. It's the actual implementation of this. I've never actually done a truck race. I've driven these before for maybe a lap or two, randomly, and then I've done like a lap of a online race a few weeks ago with some friends, and quickly retired because I just couldn't get to grips with it. But let's look back in the pack. Wow. So what do we have? Iveco, Mercedes, Volkswagen's in there as well, MAN. And then we have what I think is Vulcan Truck, which I think is supposed to be Volvo, I think. Stand to be corrected on that. But again, yeah, I mean, it's not just good enough for Risa to go and do one or two models. They've actually gone and done like a handful of manufacturers with the actual trucks as well. Oh, and even the AI getting a bit out of shape there. Okay, back to where there's my truck there. Ah, superb. Like, $1 million question. Like, did I handle right? Honest answer, I can't tell you because I've never driven a truck. What I can tell you is that as I would imagine a truck would feel based on how a car would feel, and a truck being, let's say, 5 times heavier, 4 times heavier, and higher up, then yeah, this is sort of what I would expect, I think. But I can't overstress though. If you do drive these, the front of the truck is very, very. Oh, that was close. Yeah, the front of the truck is very, very sensitive to the front grip on the tire. So what you'll find is, if you go in too hot, the front will scrub, and it will just push into Narnia, basically, right? You probably won't recover from it. So what I'd suggest you do is that go into the corners quite slowly, accept that the thing is crap at initial turn-in, but once the front grips up, once you manage to get that grip on the front, then it will start to turn albeit at a slower speed, but at a speed that a truck is supposed to do, let's not forget. And once you get past the apex, there'll be so much torque in the tires at the back that you'll find you'll be able to actually sometimes help the rear brake around a little bit with a bit of extra rotation, and it helps to kind of get the truck turning at the front and at the rear a slight bit. But you can't attack these like you can with a car. Absolutely not. Like with a car, you can lob it in, manipulate it. There's a lot of grip left in the tank in most cases, but given the weight of these trucks, you don't have that luxury. So it's really it's an exercise in patience. Looks brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, so I think we leave it there. The onboard cameras in the replay, I think, are just pretty much what we had in game. Oh, that's a cool shot. That's a cool shot. Yeah, that's nice. But yeah, we leave it there, guys. Thanks again for watching, as always. And yeah. If you want to fire up a simulator and you decide for the day instead of being a race driver, you want to be a delivery driver, it's gone a bit rogue, give these a shot. They are really, really good. Great fun. Just another well-modelled type of motorsport from the guys at Risa. Yeah. Go drive it. Have fun. Till the next one.